Hi, I'm Andy. Today I want to talk about the greatest golf video game ever made, which is Mario Golf on Nintendo 64. I want to cover some of the basics about how to plan your shots and approaches, different situations. Really, I want to cover the elevation, the wind, and the rain, and how that affects your shots. I chose this hole two on Toad Highlands because it has elevations par three real quick for us, and we can look at a few different things. So in the top left, under the distance to the cup and the hole, and it'll say down or up. That's the elevation, and right now it says down 11 yards. So that means that from this tee box down to that cup, there's 11 yards of drop off there. And really, what that means to you and how you play this game is the wind is going to be amplified. The effects of the wind are going to be amplified. So I got this 10-mile-an-hour wind at my back. So that's going to help me carry some more distance than I normally would. Now, since we're decreasing this elevation, the wind is going to have more time to work on the ball before it hits the ground. So, same idea if the wind was against me, it's going to have more time to push back against the ball before the ball hits the ground. So, and there's holes that are going to be, 30 yards down. And so, that's going to be a real big effect on your ball if there's a lot of wind. So, just things to keep in mind here. And I'm going to play a match of Plum, which is this character on the screen, weakest character in the game, versus Metal Mario, and we're going to use all the techniques that we talk about and more. Because to win that match, you have to know this game, how it works. You have to know golf. You have to know you have to execute everything too consistently. And so we'll talk about that as that matchup approaches. But let's get started here. So in general, this 2 iron right here at 165 would probably be a decent choice to get us to the cup. So as you can see, I'm 4 yards short of the cup. So even if I do full power, I don't have the club to reach the cup without a nice roll. And it's not going to roll that much on this green. However, with this wind at my back, it's going to sail that cup. And let's try it. I didn't even hit full power, but let's see what happens with that 10-mile-an-hour wind at our back.
Nice
Yeah,
hole.
that's way past. That's not good enough. Not good enough. And I didn't put any spin on the ball either. And spin, let's cover right now, is on the bottom right corner screen. See the ball indicator. It has a red dot in the middle. Right now, if I were to hold Z, I got these blue flashing dashes that appear. And now I can use the analog stick to move the dot. And that's going to indicate where I'm going to hit the ball. And to give you an idea, so this is going to be backspin. That's going to pop the ball up. It says it has backspin. Once it hits the ground, it's not going to roll forward as much, but it's going to get higher trajectory, and whatever wind is there, it's going to give the wind more time to work on the ball. So if it's on my back, that's great. I can pop it up, get more carry that way. And same thing, if the wind is against me, I can use top spin, cut the trajectory down, and then get a little bit more roll once we hit the ground. And now we got side spin too, which I don't use too much, just when the situation calls. Not stream cut out for a minute. But what you can do here is you can combine the two. And let's say you're trying to get around a turn on a course. You can either, you can use, let's say I got wind at my back and there's like a dog leg turn up to the right. So I want to use some backspin to pop the ball up, let that forward wind help me out. And let's say I want to carry that corner and maximize my roll towards the cup after the turn. So then I can put some side spin just a bit and get that curve going around the turn. And then when it hits the ground, it'll bounce and roll in the direction I want and not just straight ahead. So, and that it's wasting the roll because it's not getting me closer to the cup. So those are times you can use Uh, and you can imagine here, if I go to the top left, that's where the club's going to impact the ball. And if I do that, it's going to like go at a lower trajectory and it's going to curve away from you to your right if I hit it like this. So that's just things to, think about right there. So now what happens if I, put some backspin on this ball? So, I got that wind at my back, but I'm still going to be short of the cup. So let's go for some backspin.
Nice shot.
There we go. You see, pop the ball up a little bit higher. Now what's going to happen? Up. Now we hit it even further. So
Nice on.
as you can see, the backspin doubled the distance we were away from the cup. So what that tells us is we could we can just stay with a 2 iron and decrease the power a couple notches in the power meter, or we can club down once and go backspin again and see what happens. Is that wind going to carry us enough? Combined with the roll, that's a decent shot. That'll give us a
Nice
nice,
on.
easy putt. And when I'm playing Metal Mario, you got to be putting for birdie, and you need those birdie putts to be low risk. If you're having to drain them from 38 feet out constantly, yeah, yeah, you'll probably hit some, but eventually you're going to make a mistake, just a small mistake even, and you're going to get punished for it big time. So another thing is the rain is a huge deal, absolutely huge deal over here, and it cuts your ball down so fast. So let's try this again. This time I even got full
Nice
power.
shot.
Let's see what happens. Hey, we did good. That extra power
Nice
helped us
on.
out. Actually, almost exact same distance. Now, I'm going to change the wind to be against us. Let's raise it to the max, 21 miles an hour against this into the rain. So this is the pretty unfriendly. This is the most unfriendly conditions you can have, actually. So let's just hit a regular shot 4 wood. We gave ourselves a little bit of cushion here, shooting past the cup. Not a tremendous shot. Let's see what happens. As you can see, look at that 4 wood just absolutely dies. Not even close. Absolute disaster of a shot. Let's try it again. Let's see what happens if I put backspin on it. Man, blasted it off. And are we going to make it? Look at that. Just it looks like it hits a brick wall and just up loses all its momentum. And now there's really one thing we can do is we got top spin we can use. Let's see if we can even get onto the green with it. Well, we are
Nice
on the
on.
green. We are putting from 84 feet out. So what this shows is we're going to have to club up, right? So in these conditions, we went from a par three where we could hit a 3 iron with a 10-mile-an-hour wind at our back, and now this 3 wood. What's that going to do? Is that going to get us there?
Nice shot.
Use full top spin. Still unacceptable. So
Nice
yeah, we could
on.
use power shots. We could, but in this matchup, I really need to save them. I need to be frugal with those. So let's try the driver. Let's see. Let's see a full top spin on this driver.
Nice shot.
Look at it. I mean,
Nice
pretty
on.
good shot all said and done, but we went from having 208 yards on the driver to only coming out with 173. So you can see a huge, huge effect there. Let's put some backspin on the driver. So we got 173 with full top spin. Go the other way. Right into the teeth of that wind. Let it drop.
Nice on.
And so there we go. We go have a 50-foot putt, which is not great. So now let's turn wind at our back again. And let's take that rain off. Let's see. What do you think? How many clubs down can we go before we can't get to the cup with a good shot? The 5 iron going to get us there? Let's give it a ride and see what happens.
Nice shot.
And there you go. See, the ball just flew off the top edge of the screen. It's carrying. Wind is doing a ton of work. We got that roll. Ooh,
Nice on.
just missed it. Yeah. So 5 iron, yeah, we got there. What about 6? Move it over just a little bit. So on the bounce, we'll use that right to left break and get back towards the cup. I don't think we're gonna get it there. Let's try.
Nice shot.
So yeah, that's just on the edge of
Nice on.
acceptable. 20. Actually, one thing I want to show here though is let's say we went with this shot. This is the shot we're going to play. So we ended up with an almost 27-foot putt. We're going uphill, as you see the up at half a foot. And now you see at the bottom, I got this short power meter for 30 feet. So that's not leaving us much margin for error here, especially going uphill. I'm going to need almost all of that power meter. Now, the reason I really like to be putting with this power meter, because you got a lot more control. Like if this putt was even 2 feet more, I would need to go to the middle power meter at 100. And then see, the first small square is 25 feet. And then the next square is 30 feet, or the next rectangle, excuse me, is 30 feet. So there's not as much precision. I have 1 or 2 clicks to decide how, how far that's going to go. That's going to make or break the shot. And the 200-foot one, that's a it's really difficult to make shots with this 200-foot putt because the ball reacts differently in terms of, let's say I'm putting uphill. If it's closer, there's not as much of effect. But when you get to a long putt and you got to decide how much mustard to put on this ball to get it up a hill, the ball just flies off the putter here. It can bounce a lot off the ground. It can totally throw off your putts. And the whole distance equation doesn't seem to play out the same at over 100 feet. So really, you really want to be in the 30-foot putts. You got much more control. And so right here, in front of us, there's only the slightest right to left break in front of us. And now you can see to the right and to the left in that grid, there's a much more right to left break. So we're definitely not putting on a completely flat surface. However, how much do we actually need to account for this? Not very much. I could probably go straight at this cup and put it in there just fine. And in fact, let's try that. So I'll need to go to account for that uphill grade. I will need to go definitely over 26 feet on the meter. I'm going to go just right at 30. We'll be safe. But we didn't account for that right to left break. So really, though, all you got to do is just a tap. I just really barely move the analog stick. You can also use the D-pad to tap if you like. I prefer to use a stick. It's kind of more like a feel thing here. As you play the game, you'll develop that. So now let's do the same. Let's try to put that same 30 feet on there. I didn't quite get it. Should be fine though.
Nice birdie.
Yeah. Now, two other quick things about putting. One, like we talked about that right to left break, and it really only happens right in front of the ball for us. As you can see, as we go further along this grid, closer to the cup, the line straightens out, which means there's not as much of a break towards the cup. And the one thing I like to point out is the break directly in front of your character, your player on the screen, will not affect the ball as much as if there's the break closer to the cup. Reason for that is your ball is traveling faster if you're just being hit, and it's going faster. It's not letting the ground affect the ball as much as when it slows down towards the cup, and the ball will be able to change the direction more. So if you see a big break right in front of you, but then it straightens out, you do have to account for that sum, and that's something you'll get a feel for, and you got to trust the green to say, yeah, it's going to straighten out, so I can't overreact. And the other thing about that is I want to point out is the elevation. So we're going uphill. Now, you don't have to account for brakes as much going uphill as downhill. Because uphill you're putting more power on the ball for the same distance. And downhill you're putting less power on the ball because you don't want to hit and bounce out. So you're letting the ground do some of the work. However, since you're hitting the ball slower, the brakes do change your ball more. So if you're putting downhill, and let's say you even have a more extreme slope, like 2 feet down on a 20-foot putt, that's it's a pretty big decline. So you're not going to want to go to 20 feet on the power meter. You could go to 18 or 19, and which is you can do that. And if you aim it right, you'll get this beautiful smooth putt that just kind of glides into the hole instead of hammered in there like you do uphill a lot. So anyway, that's a lot of the things I wanted to talk about. And now I want to play a match, like I said, between Plum and Metal Mario. It's the most difficult thing I've done in this game, and it's a great matchup. So yeah, let's. I hope that helps some. If there's something I got wrong, please let me know. If there's something new you could tell me, same. Let me know. I'm always trying to get better at this game too. I love it. So yeah, let's go to that match.
All right, let's talk about this matchup now with Plum versus Metal Mario. Yeah, I'd love to hear if y'all have played this matchup, how it went for you, if you can beat them, and all that. So it's a real interesting match. You just got to get so much right. The first rule is, like I said earlier in the video, you got to be putting for birdie. And really, you need these putts to be nice and easy, and which is easier said than done. Because obviously, you just think, "Hey, why don't I just do that all the time?" And yeah, it'd be nice if you could. He's like I said, just right there. You see, every hole is going to be, Happy Gilmore stepping up to the tee and just blasting it, and you can't do that. So you're going to have to make the most of what you have. There we go, nice little iron shot. Roll it up right there in front of the pin. Now, one thing you see, Mario has the same lie I did, 94 to 98, which is pretty good. I mean, it's the second best lie you can have. So sometimes you'll hit into a divot with a dirt spot underneath, and it'll say 90 to 94, I think. And that can actually make a pretty big difference, where you could either, get onto a green from your second shot or not. So, and here we go. Mario and I both set ourselves up for nice easy putts. That's where you got to be. And like I said, we want to be putting for birdie, and we want to be hanging with Metal Mario. We got to hang with him. We don't have to win every hole. We're not going to win many holes, but we just got to hang with. And here's this par 3. This is the hole we just practiced. This is the hole we experimented on with y'all, the wind and the rain and everything. So let's put what we use to the test here. So now you can see I got a little breeze against me, and I put some backspin because I wanted to use that wind. See how it tapered that shot? and shaped it right back towards the cup. And we bounced on a pretty good line, got a little roll.
Nice on.
Now, as you can see on this hole, the pin placement was closer to me. If you recall in the practice, it was at 169. Here it's only at 162, and you'll encounter the varying pin placements on the holes, so sometimes you'll get set up for a good one, and other time won't be as favorable for you. Now you can see Metal Mario, he not a great hit off the tee right there, and on par threes you have to be able to take advantage. Sometimes he just goes kind of like brain dead. I don't know how to describe it. Just he's not as great as he is on the other holes. So if there's a par 3 where you get favorable conditions, you got to be prepared to take advantage. And now right here, here's a good example of a question you might have. Why aren't you using a power shot? So I have 6 power shots to start out with, and if you aren't aware, if you get full power on the power shot and perfect accuracy, you get to keep your power shot. Mario, in this case, you see he just lost one, and now his power shots say 5. So the question I ask myself is, a power shot here going to get me to the green in less shots than I would need otherwise? And a lot of times the answer is no. Sometimes a power shot isn't going to get you to the green in 2. It's just going to take you 3 shots regardless. So if I know that's the situation, I'm not going to use a power shot just to use it and risk losing it for later.
Nice on.
So there we go. We had, that cross breeze to deal with, and we got a decent shot up there onto the green. I'm fine with that. Mario's up there too, and he's gonna be. It's a rarity for him not to have a nice approach. And the times where he's onto the green in 2 for an eagle putt and he's 65 feet away, you're not safe there either. He can hammer it in from there, no problems. And we're putting at a nice comfortable range. It's 15 feet with not much slope, not much right to left break or left to right break. I like that. And so we're just, like I said, hang with them. 3 holes so far, and 2 of them have been tied. And here's another thing with so much, got this unfriendly wind right in front of me. And it's like, why not use a power shot? It's the same thing we just covered. I cannot get to this green in 2 with Plum unless I don't think, even with the most favorable 21 mile an hour wind you can get, I don't think you can get up there. So that's why I don't use the power shot. I just save them. And Mario's going to be up there. This is a hole that sometimes you just can't win it. And it's better just to be alright with that and just understand it and keep your head in the game and focus on the things you can control. Because it's going to take you 3 shots to get up there, and he can be up there in 2. So unless you can hole out from your 3rd approach shot, then you don't have a chance to tie him. And that's asking a lot from a big uphill shot. And here he blew his chance to be on there in 2. Usually he can, overcoming that wind is no problem. It's just poor club selection. And here's where, example, I'm hitting out of a divot. You see the dirt under the ball, 90 to 94. So right here, I didn't get, no good. I didn't get the shot I needed. Leaves me with an alright putt. That's the maximum I really want to be putting. So I guess we succeeded there, even though we wanted better. And there's Mario. Not even a terrific approach for him. So here we go. Slight left to right break. And we're putting downhill, so I gotta account for that more. So you see, that's not really that much of a break, but since I'm putting downhill and I'm going nice and easy at it, I gotta keep it in mind. It's gonna be more of a break than if I was going uphill at that. And see, Mario set himself up for a nice, mostly straight putt, knocks it home too. So through 4 holes, we're sitting pretty. It's where we want to be, either tied or ahead. I'm usually not ahead in this matchup right now. Usually I have to find some medals later in the match. So for us to have a medal right now up on Mario, fantastic. So here we go. I got a little bit of wind at our back. Let's go for that full backspin, take advantage of it off the tee. And on here, the power shot equation comes down to, you know, this time I'm gonna be on the green in 2. I don't need the power shot. So other times it's because I can't be on the green in 2. This time it's this short par 4. Yeah, I can be on there in 2. Now, if there's unfavorable weather that makes me question it or makes me think the approach shot for number 2 is going to be riskier than it should be, yeah, I'll use that power shot off the tee to make up some of the distance I plan to be losing. But here, I just, you know, I got to carry that rough, and I want to set it up on the green for a nice approach. So a little bit of backspin to loft it, to maybe get that wind to carry me back towards the cup. So we didn't hit it as great as we wanted, but we're going to get a good result out of it.
Nice on.
You know, with that small accuracy miss there, we might have been straight at the pin, and who knows, might have been able to get the eagle right there. But still set us up for a nice easy birdie, and fortunately Mario didn't chip it. So both of us are just going to probably knock home a nice easy putt.
Nice birdie.
Hey, you can't take it for granted though. He can miss that. Usually, if he misses, it's not going to be short. He'll hit it too hard, and it'll bounce up and over the hole. So I've seen that it's rare, but hey, it happens. So here, this pin placement can also be down that slope on that bottom shelf down there, which I prefer. I don't like this one because if you happen to fall down that slope, very difficult putt. Much more difficult than it needs to be. So here, and I got a little cute with this shot, and that's not good. No good, because I'm falling down the slope. See how I got punished right there? And it's going to make this a difficult putt. And what we talked about earlier, you got to be doing your work on par 3s. You got to handle your business there. Birdie for sure. If you're hitting par on par 3s here, you're either going to lose the hole or tie on one you should have taken advantage of. And here I am with a really difficult birdie putt. And as you can see, I'm also pushing it towards that 30 feet power meter. I had to switch, and I lost control. And I didn't count for the break enough unless I could have also hit it a tiny bit harder, but one of the two didn't happen. So just the simplest little errors will cost you, and it did right there. So okay, we can't let that hurt us going forward. You know, a lot of your played sports coach might say, don't get beat twice by the same mistake. You know, or there's different ways to say that. But the idea is, okay, that's in the past. This is all about controlling what we can control going forward. And here I got that rain, and I missed a power shot, so I lost one there. But I'm still going to get a good carry out of this, much better than if I didn't use it with this rain. And here, this second shot on hole 7 on Toad Highlands plays longer than it always seems to me. And fortunately, that pin is on the right instead of on the left of the green over behind the bunker, because you just get punished on this hole if you leave it short. I always like to hit it a little further. And in this one, like, I was really surprised by how it skated across the green. I was really not expecting that run. That's something I have to go back and look at in training. But look, Mario was expecting. Look at that.
Nice on.
If you see how he hit that on the power meter and how much he carried with that roll, it's unbelievable. Like, I would have never thought to play that shot like that. So that's one thing I love about this game where, yeah, that would have worked for me if I did the same thing. Now I got a really difficult putt in the rain, but we got it. Yeah, we got it. That was a big putt to hit right there. So we're hanging with him. Like I said, name of the game. And here we go, another par 5. If I had really favorable conditions, I might choose to go power shot and then another power shot to try to get to the green in 2, or at least get to the front of the green and putt through the fringe onto the green. But I've never had that happen, so I can't tell you for sure you don't want to use a power shot here, but I just I choose not to. So I just take what I can get. Yeah, that's a terrible tee shot into the teeth of that wind. And once again, that wind is just going to knock this ball down.
Nice shot.
And it feels like I'm inching my way towards the green when Mario's just going to bomb it up there. So as you can see, look at him muscling up with that full power shot. Right into the teeth of the wind. See how it plays out for him. He's got a lot of carry there. Wow. Yeah, he's on the green. Nice big friendly green. He's on there. Got a 63-foot putt. Hey, he's in striking distance. That's a tough putt, but for Mario, he's gonna make it. And for us, we got to get aggressive. We can't be playing it safe here. So I'm going for the cup, you know? Like, might as well. I'm going to hole out right here and make him make that putt. So, let's see what we got. Nah, look at that. Really underestimated the wind. Wind just really blocked it. Now, here we go. I'm putting from the green edge onto the green. So, yeah, as you can see, it's not 98 to 100 on the putt. It's 94, 98. So I had to account for that. And we get a nice little chip in is what it's called on the game. So, one thing to know is if you're putting from the fairway, and it has to go through the fringe, or what's called the green edge in this game, onto the green edge is going to really slow the ball down. So you have to account for that with your power. But if you're putting from the green edge like I just did, you don't have to account for it very much. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. If it might help you steal a stroke here or there that you wouldn't have got otherwise. Because if you can putt, it's usually a better choice than going for a wedge or some other type of bump and run shot. And here's Mario just muscling that shot out there. Beautiful drive. And now he gets to use a wedge onto his approach. And here I go. If the conditions were less favorable, I would have not have taken the shot over that bunker onto the top shelf of this fairway. I would have played it safe down on the lower shelf. But since conditions were neutral, I went for it, and now I can be on there. And here's a good example. I got to count for this. See how I'm below the ball and I'm aiming right at the cup. Even with no wind, you're saying, why am I aiming over there? It's because I'm below the ball and it's going to naturally fall left. So I'm accounting for that right here. And for proof, here's how it ends up, you know? Pretty good line on the cup right there. Full power shot and a nice roll. Would have had me even closer. But here's Mario getting to hit his wedge. Beautiful.
Nice on.
So, you know, like I said, he's going to keep the pressure on you. So you just got to play your game. Another nice easy putt we set up for. There we go, following our rules. We wanted to be putting for birdie, and we are. Sometimes the shots don't always go 100% the way we're drawing them up. Sometimes only 95% of the way there, but some of the misses are more inconsequential than other ones. Some other ones you don't have any margin for error, and if you miss, you're going to be in the rough. But so far, we've done all right. Now here we go. This is a really short par 4. Mario can be up there in 1. So we just gotta, you know, we gotta put that out of our mind. Look at him. He's using a 4-wood, not even full power. He had to club down twice, and he's gonna get up there with ease. No. Yeah, there you go. So, hole-in-one, and now we have to try to get a hole-in-one on a hole we physically can't reach the green on off the tee. So, I'm going to try. Hey, I never get to practice this shot with Plum because I can't ever go for this. So let's see how, even with a full shot, we got 12-mile-an-hour wind behind us. See how close we can get. Yeah, we bounced down the hill. into the rough. So even with full 21-mile-an-hour wind, I think best case we would have hit the bunker. So that's one. Hey, we just got to take it, bite the bullet on that, and move on. So here we go, Mario again. Happy Gilmore stepping up and crushing it. Yeah, look at it. Almost on the green again, but he's not, and that's key that he's not. It makes a big difference that those... Here I'm just checking the pin placement. It's to the right of the green, which is nice. It's the thicker part of the green, so it's a little bit safer. And here, I just want to make sure I kick this slope right, and I don't kick it back towards the rough. Because I've practiced this second shot approach with woods a lot, and so I'm pretty comfortable with it, but it's still a very difficult shot with a pretty small green, relatively speaking, on this course, and it runs away from you on the backside, so you can easily just bounce down it into the rough. And yeah, I missed this shot a little bit. I did, but the green it's going to hold me.
Nice on.
If you fall down into the rough, you're not going to be putting, and that's going to break the rule you need, and you're going to lose this hole. Unless you hit a very, like a low probability chip with like like one of those 7-iron bump and runs. So sometimes you gotta recover like that. But I'm putting, I'm going uphill at a good clip. So I'm just a slight accounting for that right to left break. And there we go, nice and easy. Hey, a 35-foot birdie counts the same on a scorecard as a 4-foot birdie. So we don't want to put ourselves in that position, but when we are, we want to come through. So we're still down by 1. We got to find another medal here, get back in this game. Here we go, and this is the most variable hole in this matchup for Plum, because with good conditions, no rain and favorable wind, you can be on the green in 2 with 2 consecutive full power shots. And that's an eagle opportunity with Plum. Unfortunately, that is not the scenario. I got rain, and that's just as good as a real tough wind. So I'm going to try, even though I missed that power shot. I'm down to 4 now. And as you can see, I'm not even close. So I got to lay up in the fairway, and I got the bad lie in the divot, 90 to 94. Not good enough. So we're just going to get what we can and set ourselves up for the best approach on the green that we can get, and not worry about Mario. Is he going to bomb it in there with an eagle? And fortunately, he really missed this shot. Ended up in the bunker. Not a very impressive hole for him, for sure. So here, I'm trying to use this wind. Going to try to taper it back towards the cup. That's the idea anyway. But really, it's the weakest part of my game with Plum. I rarely get to use wedges on approach. And as you can see right there, I'm paying for it. Like, that's terrible. Be 27 feet away in the rain. I didn't get any reaction from the wind because I also forgot that the rain really reduces the wind effect like that. So it's just all these things you got to keep in mind with this game, which is part of the reason I love it. But, it's going to cost me. And so now I'm having to make a tough putt, and I'm already behind. Really a pretty good left to right break there. Slight uphill, in the rain. Nope, didn't get it done. And I'm letting Mario take this hole when I had no business doing that. It's pretty sad that the weakest part of my game with Plum is the wedge. I just haven't had enough chance to practice because I'm always having to bomb onto the green with a 3 or 4 wood. So we're going to have to work on that. So here we go, another par 3, and Mario did not hit a good shot. So now, yeah, we've lost a couple holes in pretty disappointing fashion. But now, we got to get back on it, play our game, forget all of that. Let's hit the best shot right now that we can. So I'm not going full power. I'm going to try to take advantage of that cross breeze. And I want to softly hit the green and roll up. Okay. Bounce from the fairway on there.
Excellent.
Very nice. I think we're all going to be happy with that. And now Mario really has to hit a great shot here, and he's very capable. Oh man, almost got it.
Nice approach.
But that's not going to get it done. We can get one back right here to sink this nice easy putt.
Nice birdie.
There we go. Now we're back in the game. We always got to be in striking distance. Yeah, here we go. Like, now I'm trying to be more aggressive because, you know, we're down by one. This is going to be a very difficult second shot, and I want to make sure I give myself the best chance. Once again, I'm not going to be able to hit a wedge on there and softly just drop it in there comfortably like he is. Yeah, I'm a little surprised he didn't go for... Anytime he's not going for a power shot on these holes, I'm just kind of surprised. You see, I'm going to have to go for my 3-wood, get on this green. And I got to keep all this in mind with the wind. But I got a great lie.
Nice shot.
So I put a little backspin, just get that elevation, try to taper the shot again, as we like to do.
Nice
And
on.
I really overestimated how much that wind was going to help me out and bring it back towards the cup. So, could have done better there. Really could have. Let's see how Mario does. And yeah, he didn't account for that fall off on the green either. And now he's very makeable putt, but still could have done a lot better there. So yeah, I still set myself up for a nice, easy putt, right where we want to be.
Nice birdie.
So we still haven't found that tying middle, but we're hanging in. That's what we got to do. Play it out, keep fighting, man. You're gonna get this matchup goes blows for blows right here. You're trading blows. You're just trying to hang in there and strike when you see that opportunity. So there, I'm just trying to get that corner to where I can approach that second shot right there. And of course, there he is again, just bombing it past that turn. He's got a nice, easy approach, 40 yards. And here we go. Here's another one. Look, now I'm way above the ball, and I'm sloping downwards. So that's why, another great example, no wind, but I have to aim way left of the cup just to drop it in there kind of close. So that's another technique you got to be aware of. You got to be confident in doing that. Look at that. Beautiful. Very happy with that. Because if you're not, up on that mechanic, you're going to hit one way right. You're going to have no idea why it went up there. Like, why wasn't that straight at the cup? There's no wind or anything. So, of course, Mario's on the green with a nice easy chip. So, still, he's keeping the pressure on us. He's not letting us have an opening yet. But like I said, keep fighting back until we can get that opening. Yeah, and this is a tough hole to get a medal back with Plum. You got a lot of things working. You got this elevation, try to clear that rough, and fortunately I don't have rain or wind going against me, but I don't know if that's going to be quite enough. Let's see. Did we clear that rough? I think we did. Yeah, we're just up at the top of that hill. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any wind at my back because this is another par 5 that I can at least, if not be on the green in 2, I can be in front of it and putt through the green edge for an eagle. Possibly. But that ain't happening here, so... And make matters worse, I got a bad lie. We're in a divot. So we're gonna lose 10, 12 yards off this shot, just on that alone. And we're going uphill again, but bust out 3-wood, put the most power and accuracy I could on it, and let's hope for the best. See, we couldn't even get at the slope. That's the key right there. And now we're hitting from the rough on the 3rd shot, and we're not even on the green. That's a disaster right here. And especially if he's on there for eagle. Well, he missed it. So he's in the... Yeah, he rolled off the green in a semi-rough, so... Gives us a little opening, assuming he doesn't make the chip. And here we go, another wedge shot. Uphill, where I can't even see the green. Bad lie. So, it's another shot we really... I'm above the ball, got to count for that too. I don't want to overshoot the green, but I also want to... I want to give myself a chance to make it right here, too. And all in all, pretty happy with that shot. Didn't go in, unfortunately. Get our medal right there, but... as long as he doesn't chip in, we got a chance to at least tie, keep this matchup going. Keep it going.
Nice on.
And what do you know? He chokes the hole away and gives us the opening we've been looking for a few holes now. We were right there. We hung with it. We took all the hits. We took all the bumps, and we tied it up. Let's go. Let's win this thing. So here we go. We got the real stiff cross breeze with a little bit of help, a little bit of forward help. But this is, look at this green. Very difficult, very skinny, uphill. Nice slope to kick off of. And that's what we're going to try to do. Kick it off the slope and roll it down the green towards the cup.
Nice on.
And yeah, this is the one time I'll allow a 34-foot putt as being a good result, because there's just so much working against you there that, hey, we will take that. Now he might get closer, but oh, he sailed the green. So this is just a wonderful result, and now he's chipping and we're putting. Love it. Now I don't want you to get any under like suspicion or anything that there's some kind of like comeback code with this AI or something they'll go easy on you if you're down. That's it's absolutely not true. And well, there we go. We take the lead after 17. I have seen Mario when I'm down by 3, and it's not even the 18th hole, and he comes in and just gets a hole-in-one and dunks on me and goes home. Like, he's ruthless. This is just, he just missed, and we just happen to be there to take advantage. So here we go. He has to win this hole, or else we win the match. So we're just being all out aggressive here. Full power shot, step up, full confidence, nail it. He does the same, as you would expect. I mean, as you can see, he only missed 1 power shot this whole match because he still has 5. So, oh well. I'm still going to be on the green in 2. That's the plan anyway. Let's see. So, same thing. I'm realizing, I'm below the ball, so it's going to want to fall left. So I got to aim right. So that's why I'm aiming so far right. I'm going to put a little backspin. Ooh, that might not get it done combined with the backspin. That could be trouble. We might have just gave him an opening. Whew. Okay, we bounced up and in. Like,
Nice on.
that was a disaster waiting to happen. I mean, we still got our work cut out for us. We still might have blown this whole 47-foot putt for the match. Because if I don't make this putt, this match is, yeah, it's gonna keep going. We're going to sudden death. So it's a 47-foot putt, hardest putt of the day for the match. Going uphill with a right to left break.
Nice birdie.
And there, you get that Tiger Woods fist pump right there to celebrate. We beat Metal Mario. We take advantage, we make a mistake, he takes advantage, he makes a mistake, we take advantage, and the rest of the time, the rest of the 90% of the match, you gotta hang in there and just play your game. And now coming up, we get to hear some awesome victory music that was also in the Game Boy Color version, just awesome. So I really love this game, and I hope y'all love it too. I love to hear more about what you all think about it, and how do you have a tough time with Mario here? Are you able to beat him pretty easily with Plum? Do I make it out to be harder than it is and all that? But yeah, I'm definitely going to want to talk about this game more. I just always find reasons to play it. I love it. Just, yeah, awesome game. Play the rest of my life, I think. So anyway, that's about it for now. Hope y'all have a good day, and I'll catch up with you next time.